3 months ago, I took a jar to a pond, filled it with dirt, water, and plants, and sealed it up to never be opened again. I brought the jar home and set it on a windowsill to see if it would grow or die. But within a few days, it exploded with life. All kinds of small creatures so small, you forget they even exist. Not everything in the jar has it easy. There was quickly fighting and a battle for resources and territory. With limited space and food, it's no surprise there will be conflict. But how did we get to this point? It all started at a cattle ranch in Texas, where I hiked through the woods to reach a secluded pond. Looking at this pond, you can see there's lots of shallow areas with aquatic plants growing all around. This will be the perfect spot to make our jar. I took this big glass jar and filled it with dirt, taking scoops of dirt from the water and putting it in our jar. This dirt is full of bacteria that will support our ecosystem inside of the jar. After that, I filled the jar with water from the pond. This water is great because it is also full of bacteria and other life caught swimming around. I also added some aquatic plants and algae that were growing on the bank of the water. These will both be essential in keeping our jar alive. Since they both produce oxygen and they give the organisms something to eat, it is the foundation of our ecosystem. All the things in the jar work together to support each other. It is a cycle of perfect balance playing out inside our jar hundreds of miles from the pond it came from. Once I got the jar home, through the cloudy water, I noticed insane amounts of life in the jar. With the water so cloudy, it's easiest to see the creatures on the top of the water, so come look at these. The first creature I noticed is this small water strider. There's about 4 or 5 of them, and they glide across the top of the water, back and forth. They are predators that search for small prey along the surface of the water. They're about the size of the ball of a ballpoint pen, which is very small. Another creature I noticed is the springtail. These are Padura aquatica, and they're super interesting. They live on the top of the water surface and they float. They eat all kinds of decaying material. After a few days, the water cleared up, and I put the light up against the top of the jar, and you can see all kinds of small organisms swimming up to see the light. These 2 creatures are called Daphnia, and they're common fish food. Daphnia have 2 fins which they use to filter the water to eat suspended algae. There's copepods and ostracods that are all swimming around the large Daphnia. This is a really cool ostracod that has black spots on him. I have not seen one like this. These ostracods and other microfauna eat decaying material, and they swim around all day. There's also tons of other interesting creatures, like this diving beetle. He was super difficult to get a good shot of. I'm always moving the camera trying to catch him, but he swims off. Diving beetles breathe air like you and me, and in order to dive, they capture an air bubble and carry it with them on their back. Pretty interesting, huh? My favorite find in the jar is this water scavenger beetle larva. There are several in the jar, and they are vicious looking. They hide on the surface of the water and ambush their prey. They latch hold of them with their sharp mandibles. Notice how the one on the left is wiggling back and forth, almost to say stay away. But that doesn't stop the other scavenger beetle larva. He goes on anyways. And it leads to a pretty ferocious fight. With too many of these scavenger beetle larvae, food becomes more scarce. Nature can be very violent. After they had fought for a little while, the one on the left decided to retreat and sped off the other direction. My microscope camera lost sight of them, but they went off to the back of the jar. We'll catch back up with them in a little bit. Another interesting creature I noticed in the jar was the green hydra. The hydra has stinging tentacles kind of like a jellyfish. It extends these tentacles and catches small prey like ostracods. It pulls them in with its tentacles and sucks them down to digest them. I got a really cool shot here of a hydra catching an ostracod. In almost every jar I make, bladder snails will be there. They are invasive all around the world and on every continent except Antarctica. Now I need your help identifying this creature. It looks kind of like a caddisfly larva, but the creature inside is a worm. And this worm builds a protective casing around itself and then uses its worm body to move around. They're all over the jar. I would love to know what it is, and if you have any ideas, please let me know in the comments. Checking back on our water scavenger beetle larva, he's hiding underneath a leaf, hanging out and looking quite freaky. Look at his translucent body. Every time he moves, you can see his muscles and organs moving around. Pretty interesting. If you're enjoying this video, don't forget to subscribe. It helps you stay in the loop on what's going on with Jar Planet, and it helps our small channel grow and reach new people. And it's been 3 months, and 3 months later, our jar is looking great. The plants have grown in, the water is cleared up, everything's looking pretty good. All of the creatures that were gonna die have now died at this point. And don't forget what our jar looked like on day 1. And back to today, the difference is huge. These plants have grown in super well, algae and bacteria have colonized the sediment layer, and everything is working in balance. One creature I'm surprised by are the Daphnia. Usually Daphnia die in all of my jars, but these have thrived and exploded in population. There are so many swimming all around, bouncing like they do. The Daphnia eat algae as it grows in the water column. So there must be a certain type of algae that's keeping them alive. Another interesting microfauna species is this copepod. This one is a female. You can see that it has both egg sacs full of eggs. Sadly, our scavenger beetle larva is no more. But don't fear, he turned into a scavenger beetle. Look at him go. And that completes his life cycle. This is a fully mature water scavenger beetle. One super unique creature in the jar is this giant snail. It does nothing but lay eggs all day, and it's probably the reason all of these snails are in the jar. There are tons of little bladder snails all over the place. There's one here, another there, more here, and that's just to name a few. They're everywhere. Another new creature that popped up are these damselfly nymphs. These nymphs will eventually turn into damselflies, which look like small dragonflies. They are predators and spend their time patiently hunting in the jar. And that's our jar, 3 months later, and without opening it, it's pretty amazing to see what can survive. Hopefully it lasts a lot longer, but it's been an awesome journey. If you enjoyed this video, I know you'll like this one next.